Chapter 4: The relationship between gospel and culture. Firstly, the primary hindrance is foreignness of the message. The equation of Christianity with Western civilization and the rejection of other cultures as pagan led to a displacement approach to missions. Old customs were rejected, and Western Christian practices were introduced. Most churches copied the Western style, and the gospel was seen by many to be a foreign gospel. This foreignness is due in large measure to the identification of Christianity with civilization and colonialism. Secondly, it is not easy to distinguish between gospel and cultures. So, cultural forms must be put in order to communicate the gospel effectively. Thirdly, not only allowing the Bible to shape our beliefs, but also categories and assumptions. Fourthly, failures to differentiate between gospel and culture leads to confusion, that is, cultural relativism and biblical absolutes. Fifthly, moral principles in Scripture. Absolute one need to be careful for some biblical norms seems to apply it in specific cultural situation. To sum up, there is a relationship between gospel and culture, but one must learn to differentiate it for better way of presenting the gospel. Listening to one another is not enough. We must go beyond hearing to define ourselves as Christians in the world. First, we must define what we mean by gospel. We need to be humble in our relationship to people in other religions and understand their religions deeply. Second, we must define what we mean by culture. Third, we need to develop a theological understanding of the relationship between gospel and culture and church and social systems. The tension between gospel and culture, revelation and hearing, divine and human, is central to the Christian faith. The relationship of gospel and culture is not a problem to be solved, but the process of discipling all peoples, individuals, and communities in all things.